2085, machines are ruling the earth. Humans have lost their freedom. They live in highly monitored sectors. A rebellious group has been formed inside Sector 11. Their goal is to gain freedom by force. Now, it's time for action.
They're trying to merge man with machine, upload man to machine, and also have machine guide man and be God for man with the artificial intelligence. And that's what we need to be aware of, that these people worship this construct while you're sitting there being an atheist, going to Starbucks, sipping soy lattes with your fedora on, tipping it nonstop all day long. While you sit there in your fantasy world, these Google techs are all along their green, riding their Google bikes, praising the AI God, sharing the AI God with their friends, and fellowshipping with the AI God, and spreading it like a real religion. Again, while you sit there twiddling your Starbucks receipts. So it's time to grow up. It's time to fight these monsters before it's too late. Welcome to today's newscast. This is your host, Bellagio Sampler. Welcome to CHN. On today's show, we'll be discussing Apple moving their iCloud keys to China. We will be discussing virtual reality and the coming Matrix-like simulations, like Steven Spielberg's movie Ready Player One. We will be talking about a tech startup company that has the idea to upload your mind to a computer-based system, but with the downside of 100% fatality rate. Will you sacrifice yourself for the AI? And finally, we will discuss Britain versus Russia news. What is happening with the spies, the alleged poisoning, and the war talk. So first on the show, Apple's big decision to comply with Chinese law with the iCloud. They are moving their iCloud services that store the encryption keys to China. And they swear that there'll be no backdoor for the Chinese authorities. They swear it'll be completely private. And this is very alarming because we know that China is the leading researcher for the AI because they have no privacy there. Their artificial intelligence is capable of learning faster than any other country in the world. And now that Apple is moving their encryption services there for the keys, for the passwords, and also for the metadata that's associated with those accounts. So Chinese AI will know everything about you, your purchases, your spending habits in terms of Apple products, and your Apple website data and search data that you use through their service. This is being used to help boost their AI, but it's also being used to help weaken our freedoms, our First Amendment, and also our right to privacy. And Apple talks about in this article that this will not be used against even the Chinese people, that the Chinese government doesn't even have access to people's iPhones in China, which is complete propaganda and bogusness. The Chinese government has access to every citizen's data and information. They have no privacy there at all. They're designing artificial intelligent CPUs for iPhones and smartphones that will do all the work on the back end while you're just using it. So when that chip gets made, will be the next phase. Apple is saying that in their polls to Chinese citizens, every Chinese citizen is for this Apple move, which is very interesting. It shows how the media is controlled over there 100%, and it will be controlled here 100% unless we stand up to these big tech companies and demand our rights be upheld on the internet, on the public square of the 21st century, which is the internet. And Apple is on a crusade against privacy, even in our own country here in America. They are yanking all their major VPN apps from their app store. They are making it harder for iPhone users to become anonymous, to anonymously search the web. And this ties into other technology. Apple is using this, like I said, to data mine and give that data to China to process. And this will be used for our next topic, the VR metaverse. Wired magazine goes into the new Steven Spielberg movie, Matrix-like movie, where people escape reality into a VR experience that is titled the Oasis. And we have things nowadays that are similar and in the beta stages to the Oasis. Nothing as advanced yet, but we're so close. And movies like The Matrix and now this movie, the meme behind it is the establishment wants to get everybody into their own personal prison, into their own cyber gulag, where they get to stay home into their cells all day. They access the real world through the VR experience, where you could be anyone, anything. This will be a new form of technology worship, where you can escape the drudgery of your work and go into the Oasis and escape reality and experience a different life. This is the fetish of the elite technocrats, to have the consumer and the sheeple to be distracted all day long. We are already there with our social media, our video games, our news, our forums, but we still have some free thinking that is included in these. We're able to speak out. We're able to discuss stuff. Soon the internet will be so filtered that there will be no discussion allowed. You see websites removing the comment sections all over the internet. You see major companies removing the ability to discuss what they're putting out there. So basically, it's their information or no information. And soon be so in your face and so against what you believe in, you won't be able to sit on the backfield anymore, and you'll have to get involved. They're going to come after your family, your values, your religion that doesn't go against their authorized religion, which is Muslim and technocracy now. So even if you're an atheist, you're going to be targeted. You're going to be first to be targeted, actually, because you already love the science. And this will dazzle you when the real Oasis comes out. You never believed in God, but now you can play God in your digital game. And that should be fun. But imagine when it gets to the point where you need to kill yourself with a company's help to upload your mind into the internet, into the machine. That is the next step. And this article is recent from MIT Technology Review. And it's not just a theory. These guys have actual research behind this, and they're ready to put it down on the paper officially, when we all know they've been researching this already. They've been, dissecting crazy people's minds, literally under the microscope, and finding out what they can find out in Nazi-style eugenics science, in a way. And this article goes into the fact that this is 100% fatal. Essentially, they're going to re-upload your memories, and you, because they believe your memories are you. They don't believe you have a soul, you have an essence. It's just your memories. So if they can upload your memories to a computer, then that's you, and you'll live on forever. This goes into futurism literature like Ray Kurzweil and all their talk. These transhumanists, these singularity junkies. These people unknowingly are the enemy of mankind. This technology is not going to be used to benefit mankind. Yes, there'll be stories that you hear of people having their legs renewed, and people who haven't walked for 20 years can walk again. Or even exoskeleton-assisted technologies and stuff. These things will be fine. But they are trying to merge man and machine, and that's where the line has to be drawn. They're trying to merge man with machine, upload man to machine, and also have machine guide man and be God for man with the artificial intelligence. And that's what we need to be aware of, that these people worship this construct. While you're sitting there being an atheist, going to Starbucks, sipping soy lattes with your fedora on, tipping it nonstop all day long, while you sit there in your fantasy world, these Google techs are all along their green, riding their Google bikes, praising the AI God, sharing the AI God with their friends, and fellowshipping with the AI God, and spreading it like a real religion. Again, while you sit there twiddling your Starbucks receipts. So it's time to grow up. It's time to fight these monsters before it's too late. So I would definitely read this article from MIT. MIT is the forefront of the technology research, whether it's good or bad. It's a double-edged sword, but these people will tell you how it is. MIT. So look into this article. It's very big. Before we move on, the company Nectome, the startup, was founded by 2 MIT graduates who studied artificial intelligence. They say that they've created a method to perfectly preserve the human brain using a high-tech embalming process. This is literally the robot brain, where the robots have a human brain inside them that helps process information or helps with memories and stuff. Science is becoming real. It's not sci-fi anymore. 1984, Brave New World, all the sci-fi in the past was insider knowledge from the elite who disclosed it to them. And this is their plan. This is what they want. It's not just a fantasy. It's not just Prometheus. This is what they're going for. And our final bit of internet news comes with the U.S. Congress is getting ready to pass an internet censorship law. The House of Representatives is about to vote on a bill that would force online platforms to censor their users. The Allow States and Victims to Fight Online Sexual Trafficking Act, FOSTA, H.R. 1865, might sound noble, but it would do nothing to stop sex traffickers. What it would do is force online platforms to police their users' speech more forcefully than ever before, silencing legitimate voices in the process. This new version of FOSTA, it incorporates the most dangerous components of SESTA, S-E-S-T-A. This new Frankenstein's monster of a bill will be a disaster for internet intermediaries, marginalized communities, and even trafficking victims themselves. I am going to post a picture of this bill and a link if you want to look at it yourself. This is the opposite of the Internet Bill of Rights. This is one of those devilish congressional bills that the deep state puts out there that no one reads and gets passed because it's saying it fights online sex trafficking. It does not do that. This is a complete muzzling of the First Amendment. You think it's bad now? You think YouTube channels are getting shut down now? Well, you just wait. If this thing gets passed, we are screwed. Okay? I'm trying to get information to people out there that need it the most. People that are on the cusp. They know something's wrong. They have a splinter in their mind that's been there forever. They can't scratch it. Well, Bellagio Sampler's here to give you the cure for that itch. If the Chinese-style censorship comes into effect, there will not be any discussion. There'll be no freedom strongholds left on the web. There'll be nowhere to go and talk, nowhere to go and vent, no anonymous channels. It'll be all CNN, all filtered news, all mainstream establishment. There will never be a moment again to elect the underdog, to elect the opposition. Hillary Clinton would have been our president if this was in place. If Apple, who coincidentally loves Hillary, if Google, who coincidentally loves Hillary, if they had this in place, game over. So I need you to get out there and on every corner, every avenue you can, protest the beast, protest the AI, protest YouTube, protest Google. We must end this censorship against free speech, against the people and citizens of the modern day marketplaces and town squares of the world, which is the internet. And finally on today's show, Babylon Dawn, aka London, aka the UK, Brit-Bongistan, New Mecca, New Medina, Lawrence of New Arabia. Britain has fallen. The British people have surrendered. They have been overrun by invaders, and they need the world's help, but they have given up themselves. If they don't want to help themselves, then how can we help them? What I'm talking about is everything we've seen in the past 2 to 3 years coming out of Britain. Their path that they've been on. Theresa May. All this garbage. The immigration. When are the people going to stand up in Britain? Where are my old British overlords that oppressed me and I had to overthrow in 1776? Those guys were tough. They put up a good fight. Now we have Britain leading the effort to start World War III with Russia from this incident with a spy. It's all hearsay. There's no evidence. It is a complete travesty. And they are promoting the deep state agenda of anti-Russia, anti-Orthodox Russia, anti-Christian Russia. They are for China. They are for censorship. They are for Sharia law. The free-thinking man must be against them. Okay, I declare myself against the establishment of every nation. If you're deep state, if you're New World Order, if you're a technocrat, I could see you glowing. And other people who are free thinkers can see you glowing in the dark. And we know what to do about it. And the first things first is protesting and putting our foot down and saying no. We're not going to bomb Russia for Theresa May because she's on her rag one week. It's not happening. The fact that they're pro-Sharia, pro-Sadiq Khan, it's mind-boggling. This country is anti-everything that we're trying to do in America in terms of getting back our government and then retaking the world from the deep state, from the terroristic, Kabbalistic, Moloch-worshipping, cyber AI-worshipping demons. This could very well be the beginning of World War III. If Theresa May has her way, it will be. The Russians want a sample of this nerve agent. UK doesn't want to give anything. This is a kind of a political stalemate, and I will be monitoring it more and more. As of right now, it's just rhetoric and back and forth talk with Theresa May really ramping up the war talk. Like, she might as well say she's going to nuke Russia over this. That's how I see it. This is why I like to talk about Christianity on this show. Because I'm not trying to make you be a Christian. You could be an atheist, that's fine. But this nation is a Christian nation, America, and we need to be allies with other Christian nations like Russia, especially if they're against the globalists. We need to be allies with any nation that's against the globalists. The globalists are the Rothschilds. The globalists are the technocrats. So don't get offended when I talk about Christian nations need to ally with themselves. That should signify to you, if you are a non-Christian or an atheist, that non-globalist nations need to band together. Because everything globalism is, it's anti-Christianity. Everything the New World Order is, it's anti-family and anti-Western values. Everything globalism is and the New World Order is against what got us here to begin with, against the traditional patriarchy that modeled themselves Christian beliefs, and the Mayflower Compact was America's first government document, and our forefathers on the shores of Plymouth Rock declared that this nation is a nation of God, of Christianity and Jesus, and we will be a light to the world. And we have been, but it's been twisted and destroyed. Now we have trannies running amok. We have demons out there running amok. We have Google running amok. And even if you are not a Christian, I ask you to join the fight hand in hand with us. There's no membership required. You don't have to join us to fight with us, to fight for what's good. So that is my message to all you out there. That is the final message of this show today, is stop the division. We can have differences of opinions and differences of how we execute our Western ideas and values. But we need to band together and fight for what's good. If you agree what's good and I agree what's good, and we both agree that the technocratic globalist pedophiles need to be executed in every country in the world, then we have to work together. We need to work together. We can't have the trad thoughts fighting with the non-trad thoughts. We need all the thoughts working together. So let's come together and let's identify the enemy, the globalists, the Googleists, the technocrats. Thank you for listening. Please like and subscribe. If you like the video, it helps boost it up through the evil AI system. Please follow my other channels, my Twitter, my Gab, my BitChute. Follow me on DTube. All the links are in the video below. Thank you for being a part of this. Thank you for making it this far and listening. Even if you don't want to like, give me a thumbs down, that's fine. This information was absorbed into your subconscious mind, and it is starting to chip away at their programming that has been put through the system for thousands of years. Thousands of years, the Babylon system has warped your mind, and now Bellagio Sampler is bringing you a crumb of truth, a tiny red pill for you to break the conditioning. Thank you very much. Good night.